In 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster shocked the world when it exploded 73 seconds after liftoff, killing all 7 crew members on board. During the investigation, it became clear that there had been warning signs that were ignored or downplayed by NASA officials. One example of hindsight bias emerged when many people believed that the decision to launch the shuttle had been reckless and inevitable. However, as the investigation continued, it was revealed that the decision to launch the Challenger had been based on a complex set of factors, including pressure from the government to keep to a tight launch schedule. Furthermore, the technical issues that led to the explosion were not fully understood at the time of the launch. The hindsight bias that emerged in the aftermath of the Challenger disaster illustrates how easy it is to view past events as more predictable than they actually were. In reality, the decision to launch the shuttle was based on incomplete information and a complex set of factors that made it difficult to fully anticipate the risks involved. Hey rational rebels! Welcome to the arena of reason, where we train our minds to spot cognitive pitfalls. This is Chris from Critical Conditioning, where we strive for cognitive precision and free our brains from that mental prison. Today's episode is all about the hindsight bias, a common cognitive bias that affects the way we interpret past events. It can lead us to believe that we knew it all along when we really didn't. In this episode, we'll explore what the hindsight bias is, why it happens, and most importantly, how to avoid falling into this common trap of thinking. Strengthen your mind's analytical skills and improve your reasoning abilities with critical conditioning. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated on all of our latest episodes. If you find our content valuable, consider donating to our PayPal using the link in the description. And don't forget to share this episode with your friends and family to help spread the word about the importance of critical thinking. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. Hindsight bias fun fact. Research suggests that the hindsight bias may be influenced by our mood. A study found that people who were in a positive mood were more likely to experience hindsight bias than those in a negative mood. This suggests that our emotional state can affect how we view past events and the degree to which we believe they were predictable. There have been numerous studies and questionnaires conducted to investigate the phenomenon of the hindsight bias. Here are a few of the most interesting and counterintuitive results. 1. Overconfidence in hindsight. One study found that people tend to be more confident in their judgments when they are influenced by the hindsight bias. Participants in the study were asked to estimate the likelihood of various events occurring, both before and after being told the actual outcome. Those who were told the outcome were more confident in their judgments, even if they had no additional information. This overconfidence can lead to poor decision-making and can be a dangerous side effect of the hindsight bias. 2. Hindsight bias in the legal system. The hindsight bias has been shown to have significant effects in the legal system. In one study, mock jurors were presented with a case and then given additional information that had not been presented during the trial. Participants who were given the additional information were more likely to believe that the defendant was guilty, even if the information was irrelevant to the case. This suggests that the hindsight bias can have a powerful impact on the perception of guilt or innocence in legal proceedings. 3. False memories. The hindsight bias can also lead to the creation of false memories. In one study, participants were shown a video of a car accident and then asked questions about what they had seen. When asked about details that had not actually been shown in the video, many participants claimed to have seen them. This is likely due to the influence of the hindsight bias, which can make us feel as though we knew something all along, even if we did not. 4. Positive outcomes. While the hindsight bias is often associated with negative consequences, it can also have some positive effects. In one study, participants who were encouraged to reflect on their past decisions and consider how they could improve their decision-making in the future were better able to avoid similar mistakes in the future. This suggests that the hindsight bias can be used as a tool for personal growth and development. 5. Culture and the hindsight bias. Some studies have found that the hindsight bias may be more prevalent in certain cultures than others. For example, one study found that participants from individualistic cultures, such as the United States, were more likely to experience the hindsight bias than those from collectivistic cultures, such as Japan. This suggests that cultural factors may play a role in the development and expression of the hindsight bias. In conclusion, these studies and questionnaires show that the hindsight bias can have a wide range of effects, both positive and negative, and can be influenced by a variety of factors, including culture and emotional state. By understanding the nature of the bias and its potential effects, we can work to avoid the negative consequences and use it as a tool for personal growth and development. While the hindsight bias is a common phenomenon, there are individual differences in the degree to which people are affected by it. Here are some factors that may influence the strength of the hindsight bias. 1. Personality. People who are high in confidence and self-esteem may be more likely to experience the hindsight bias. This is because they may be more likely to overestimate their own ability to predict the outcome of events. 2. Cognitive style. People who have a more intuitive cognitive style may be more susceptible to the hindsight bias. Intuitive thinkers rely on their gut feelings and past experiences to make judgments, which can lead them to believe that they knew the outcome of an event all along. 3. Emotion. Emotional state can also play a role in the hindsight bias. People who are feeling positive emotions, such as joy or excitement, may be more likely to experience the bias, while those who are feeling negative emotions, such as anxiety or fear, may be less likely to do so. 4. Knowledge and experience. People who have a lot of knowledge or experience in a particular area may be less likely to experience the hindsight bias, as they may be better able to accurately predict the outcome of events based on their expertise. Overall, the degree to which someone is affected by the hindsight bias is likely to be influenced by a variety of factors, including personality, cognitive style, emotional state, and knowledge and experience. By understanding these individual differences, we can work to mitigate the bias and make more accurate judgments and decisions. Here's a quick question for you guys. Has the hindsight bias influenced our understanding of history and led to the glorification of certain historical figures while downplaying their faults and mistakes? Should we reassess our views of historical figures and events in light of the hindsight bias? Share your thoughts in the comments below and be sure to read what others are saying. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking discussions. The hindsight bias is a phenomenon that can be observed in various aspects of everyday life. One common example is in sports, where fans often claim that they knew a particular game or match was going to end in a certain way after it has already finished. This is because they are now aware of the final score and can easily rationalize why they knew that the outcome was inevitable. However, in reality, the outcome was not so clear at the time, and their confidence in their prediction is likely inflated due to the hindsight bias. Another example is in investing, where individuals may look back on a particular investment decision and claim that they always knew it was a good or bad idea. Again, this is often due to the benefit of hindsight and the ability to rationalize decisions after the fact. It can be difficult to recognize this bias in oneself, but one way to spot it is to ask oneself if they truly had access to all the information at the time of the decision, or if they are now filling in gaps in their knowledge based on what they know now. When it comes to overcoming the hindsight bias, one approach is to try to remain as objective as possible when evaluating decisions. This can be challenging, but it can be helpful to write down reasons for making a decision before the outcome is known, and then reevaluate those reasons in light of the actual outcome. Additionally, seeking out diverse perspectives and considering alternate scenarios can help prevent tunnel vision and overconfidence in one's own predictions. Another approach is to practice humility and acknowledge that hindsight bias is a common human tendency. By recognizing that our perceptions of past events may be influenced by what we know now, we can work to approach decision-making with greater objectivity and an openness to new information. Overall, the hindsight bias is a pervasive phenomenon that can affect individuals in various aspects of their lives. By being aware of its existence and practicing techniques to mitigate its effects, individuals can improve their decision-making and avoid falling victim to this bias. So, have you ever fallen for hindsight bias? Do you know someone who has? Share your examples in the comments below and let's start a conversation about how we can all strive to be more rational and objective in our thinking. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Critical Conditioning, where we explored the fascinating world of hindsight bias. Remember, by becoming more aware of this cognitive pitfall, we can improve our reasoning abilities and make better decisions in our daily lives. If you found this episode valuable, please like and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified of future episodes. But don't keep this valuable information to yourself. Share this episode with your friends and family and help them strengthen their analytical skills as well. If you'd like to support the show and help us continue to bring you high-quality content, please consider donating to our PayPal using the link in the description. Your contribution will help us keep the lights on and continue to produce more episodes for you. Keep your mind sharp, rational rebels, until the next time we meet in the arena of reason. This is Chris from Critical Conditioning signing off.